When I first met Jermaine, he wasn't the kind of man that caught your eye. Hoodie pulled tight, always in the shadows, voice low like he was afraid of waking something inside himself. But I could tell. That man was a storm pretending to be a drizzle. He moved like he'd survived things people don't even speak of, and every inch of his inked-up skin was proof. You ever see someone and just know they've been through war? Not overseas, right here, in the heart of the city, on cracked concrete with blood in the gutters and silence in the hallways. That was Jermaine. His tattoos weren't decoration. They were confessionals. Prayers. Curses. Every one earned, every one screaming louder than he ever did. I remember the first time I asked. We were sitting on the back steps of an old tenement, smoke in the air, street lights flickering like dying hope. I looked over, nodded at the ink snaking down his neck and said, "What's the story behind all that?" He didn't even look at me. Just said, "Each one's for something I lost, or someone I had to become." The first one he got at 15. A broken crown on his forearm. Said it was for his brother, Tito, who used to call him Lil King. Tito died in a raid, wrong place, wrong time. Jermaine watched the whole thing, couldn't do a damn thing but scream. After that, he stopped talking to God. Stopped talking to anybody. That tattoo? That was the funeral he never got to have. Then came the angel wings across his back, but not the kind that fly. Nah, these were burned, scorched at the ends. He said that was for his mama, who OD'd in the kitchen one morning while he was getting ready for school. He found her slumped over, spoon still hot. He cleaned it up before his little sister came home. Ain't no 16-year-old supposed to know how to wipe up a mother's last breath, but he did it. By 18, Jermaine was knee-deep in the streets. You name it, he ran it. Guns, dope, girls. He was a ghost in the daylight and a king at night. His name rang out, but his soul was fading. He got a chess piece on his hand next, queen, cracked down the middle. Said it was for Maya, the girl he loved but pushed away. She begged him to get out, to be more than what the block offered. He said he couldn't protect her if he was weak. She left, pregnant. He never saw her again. But the real twist? The one that changed everything? It came with the cross on his neck. That one looked fresh. Angry red like it hadn't healed. I asked him about it, and for the first time, Jermaine cried. Just one tear. He told me it was for a kid named Deshaun. Said the boy was 12. Came up to him one night, said he wanted to be like you, OG. Gave him a burner, told him to watch the corner. Thought he was helping. A week later, Deshaun caught a bullet meant for Jermaine. Wrong hoodie, wrong night. That moment? That broke him. Jermaine disappeared for a year. Street said he got locked up, others said he went upstate to find peace. Truth? He checked into a church-run rehab up in Buffalo. Sat in silence, stared at walls, and counted regrets. Came out with new ink, a phoenix on his chest, rising out of flames. That one was different. That one meant something. He came back to the block, but he wasn't the same. Started talking to the young ones, telling them the truth. Not glorifying it, but laying it bare. He showed them the tats. Told them what each one cost him. What it took to earn them. He turned pain into prophecy. But the streets don't like redemption. The game doesn't forget. And one night, as he was walking his sister's kid home from tutoring, trying to do right, a black SUV pulled up slow. Windows down. No plates. He knew what was coming. Told the boy to run. 3 shots. He hit the ground. Blood pooling, heart slowing, and he looked up at the sky like he was finally ready to ask God something. And then, get this, the SUV screeches off, but a phone drops from the window. Security footage shows the driver. And guess who it is? Tito. His dead brother. But wait, wasn't Tito supposed to be gone all these years? Shot in that raid? Funeral, obituary and everything? Turns out, the body was never identified. Tito flipped. Went into witness protection. Changed everything, name, city, face. But now he's back. And the word on the street? He didn't come back to reunite. He came back to finish what Jermaine started. So now Jermaine's in critical. Doctors don't know if he'll make it. But something tells me this ain't the end. No, this right here? They said he wasn't supposed to make it through the night. 3 bullets. 1 in the leg, 1 in the side, and the last, an inch from his heart. The doctors called it a miracle. I call it unfinished business. When Jermaine opened his eyes 3 days later, tubes in his throat and monitors screaming like sirens, he wasn't thinking about pain. He was thinking about Tito. The brother he mourned, the brother he tattooed across his skin in grief, now alive and pulling triggers. Nobody believed it. The block was buzzing with theories. Some said Jermaine was hallucinating from blood loss. Others claimed Tito had a twin. But I saw that security footage. Clear as daylight. It was him. And here's where it gets twisted. 2 days after the shooting, a woman shows up at the hospital. Claims she's a federal agent. No badge, no name. Just a quiet voice and a file thick enough to break a man. She goes into Jermaine's room, stays 20 minutes. When she leaves, Jermaine's hands are shaking, and his face is different. Not scared. Not angry. Just haunted. That night, he asks for a mirror. The nurse brings it. He stares at himself for a long time. Then he whispers, "They lied to me. My whole life, they lied." Turns out, Tito didn't just disappear. He was taken. Snatched up by the feds after that raid. They offered him a deal, testify against the local gang kingpins in exchange for a new identity. Jermaine thought Tito had died a street martyr. Truth was, Tito chose to vanish. And it gets deeper. You remember that queen tattoo on Jermaine's hand? The one cracked down the middle for Maya, the girl who left pregnant? Yeah. That child? Still alive. His name is Elijah. 14 years old. Smart. Gifted. In foster care. And guess who's been visiting him in secret for years? Tito. That's right. While Jermaine was drowning in guilt, ink, and pain, Tito was out there playing father to the son he never claimed. Told the boy his real dad was lost to the streets. So why come back now? Why shoot Jermaine? Because Jermaine was getting too close. After rehab, after the Phoenix tattoo, Jermaine started poking around, asking questions, pulling threads. Found out the raid that killed Tito wasn't what it seemed. The Fed staged it. Used Tito to bring down a cartel pipeline. But Tito didn't just help them. He joined them. New name. New money. New life. But Jermaine? He was a loose end. A reminder. A threat. And now the truth is out. Jermaine checked himself out of the hospital the next day. Barely able to walk. Bandages tight, painkillers fading. But he had a plan. He went back to the tattoo shop on 83rd, the only place he ever trusted. Sat in the chair, sweat on his brow, and asked for one more tattoo. A dagger. Right across his throat. When the artist hesitated, Jermaine said, "It's not for them. It's for me. A reminder. One way or another, this ends." The next day, he went looking for Maya. Took 3 buses, 2 phone calls, and a prayer. Found her working in a warehouse in Jersey. She didn't scream when she saw him. She just froze. Like she'd seen a ghost in broad daylight. He asked to see Elijah. She said no. Said it was too late. But when he showed her the photo, Tito and Elijah in a park, laughing like father and son, her face cracked. She never knew Tito was alive either. That night, she called him. Said Elijah wanted to meet. They set it up, quiet park, just before sunset. But Jermaine? He didn't go alone. He brought me. And he brought proof. The file. The agent's voice recorded on a hidden MIC. The whole story. The setup, the feds, the false death. But here's where it really flips. When Elijah showed up, he wasn't surprised to see Jermaine. He hugged him. Said, "I've been waiting for you." Turns out, Elijah had already figured it out. Been digging on his own. He knew Tito wasn't his real father. Knew there was something off about the stories. But he didn't say anything, because Tito promised him something. Stay quiet, and I'll make you untouchable. Tito had plans for Elijah. Big ones. Grooming him to take over his empire. Tech scams. Crypto laundering. A new kind of kingpin. Quiet. Digital. Invisible. Jermaine? He wasn't just fighting for truth anymore. He was fighting for his bloodline. But here's the catch, Jermaine left that meeting with a smile and a burner phone. 2 nights later, he gets a call. A voice on the other end says, "We know what you're doing. If you want to keep that boy alive, walk away." Click. He called me right after. Voice tight. Said he's going underground. Said if anything happens, I need to release the files. So now I'm sitting here, staring at this flash drive. Watching the city lights blink like warnings. And Jermaine? He's gone. Vanished. Again. But something tells me this ain't over. Because the last thing he said to me before he disappeared? I got one more tattoo left. And it's gonna be the one they remember me for. It's been 3 weeks since Jermaine vanished. No calls. No sightings. Nothing. The streets are quiet, but it's that kind of quiet that means a storm's coming. People say he ran. Others say he's dead. I know better. Because last night, I got the package. No name. No return address. Just a manila envelope, thick with secrets. Inside? A phone. Prepaid. Burned. And a single photo. Jermaine, standing in front of a wall covered in newspaper clippings, maps, and photos. At the center of it all? Tito. Strings tied from his face to politicians, tech CEOs, federal informants. This wasn't revenge. This was war. And on the back of the photo, written in black marker, 6 words. Tonight, it ends. Watch the news. I turned on the TV. Waited. Nothing. Just politics. Sports. Weather. And then, breaking news. An anonymous tip led police to a luxury condo in Midtown. Gunfire. Explosions. SWAT teams. A shootout that lasted 17 minutes. 2 dead. 1 man arrested. Name unreleased. But I knew. That was Jermaine. The second the smoke cleared, everything started unraveling. A data leak hit the web, emails, files, photos. Tito's operation was exposed. Offshore accounts. Bribed officials. Human trafficking rings disguised as tech startups. His whole empire collapsed overnight. And the final nail? A video, uploaded by an account called The Tattoo Truth. Jermaine. Sitting in front of that same wall, blood on his shirt, eyes like steel. He said, "They took everything from me. My family. My future. My name. But they forgot one thing. Pain writes the clearest truth. Every scar, every tattoo, every loss, it led me here. To this moment. I'm not here to be remembered. I'm here to be reckoned with. You want to know how many tattoos it takes to tell the story of a man's transformation? 1 more. Just 1. And this one ends it all." The screen cut to black. No one's seen him since. Tito's awaiting trial. Maya and Elijah disappeared into protective custody. The feds? They're scrambling to control the damage. And me? I'm here, holding the last chapter. Because what no one knows, what Jermaine never said in that video, is where he got that final tattoo. Right above his heart. A name. Elijah. Not a symbol. Not a crown. Just a promise. That no matter how dark the world gets, pain can be passed down, or it can be broken. Jermaine broke the cycle. With ink. With blood. With truth. And maybe he disappeared into smoke and silence. But somewhere out there, I know, he's still watching. Because legends don't die. They just go underground.